It doesn't happen overnight. You don't wake up one day to a workplace full of dangers. It happens one small shift at a time, one shortcut, one overlooked hazard, one quiet compromise. Until the environment you thought was safe isn't. We've spent this series learning about the dangers we can see, the obvious hazards, the overlooked practices, the cultural phrases that hide risk. But today, we're diving into something even more dangerous. Because it's not loud, it's not flashy, it's invisible, until it isn't. Today we're talking about hazard drift. The silent threat hiding in every workplace, every industry, and every country, including yours. Not because people didn't care, not because they didn't know, but because over time risk became background noise, ignored, tolerated, normal. And that's the real danger of hazard drift. Because hazard drift doesn't scream for attention, it whispers. It blends in. It's the emergency exit that slowly becomes blocked with storage boxes. It's the machine guard that gets removed just for today, and never put back. It's the worn-out harness that everyone knows should be replaced, but no one does. Because after a while, it just feels normal. Hazard drift is the gradual, almost invisible lowering of safety standards. Not from one bad decision, but from 1,000 small ones. Small enough that no single day feels different. Until the day everything changes. In 2011, a methane explosion at the Ulyanovskaya coal mine in Russia killed 110 workers. The investigation revealed a culture of ignored gas warnings and manipulated monitoring systems. Readings that would have once triggered evacuations were quietly tolerated. Procedures that had once been strict became guidelines, and hazard drift took its toll. In Australia, a major rail incident occurred in 2013 when train crews repeatedly ignored track defects that, well, weren't that bad. Temporary repairs were done, permanent fixes were postponed. Over time, the expectation shifted. Small problems were normal. Until a derailment injured multiple passengers and caused millions in damage. Even in healthcare, hazard drift is a killer. Studies show that patient injury rates climb when minor process deviations, like skipping double checks on medications, become accepted practice over time. It's not evil, it's not lazy, it's human. And that's what makes it so dangerous, because hazard drift doesn't come from bad people. It comes from good people under pressure, under deadlines, under expectations. You know, it comes from cultures that reward speed over caution and, well, appearance over substance. And here's the kicker. Most workplaces experiencing hazard drift still believe they're safe. Because, yesterday was fine. And the day before that, and honestly, the month before that too. But past luck is not future safety. Drift is, well, kind of like a slow-motion landslide. And, the longer it's left unchallenged, the harder it is to stop. So how do you fight hazard drift? It starts with seeing it. Seeing the pallet Jack always left in the wrong spot, seeing the blocked fire extinguisher, noticing the slippery patch in the hallway that's always been there, and seeing the gap between what should happen and what's actually happening. You fight drift by asking yourself some hard questions. Has this situation become normal because it is genuinely safe, or because we've simply gotten used to the risk? Would a new worker, stepping into your workplace for the first time, see these conditions and think they're acceptable? Or would they be shocked by what's been allowed to slide? Are we truly relying on solid safety controls? Or are we just getting by on luck without even realizing it? These are not easy questions, but they are the ones that protect lives. You fight drift by challenging good enough, by refusing to let convenience beat caution, by noticing what others ignore. Regular inspections help, peer observations help, leadership walkarounds help. But the most powerful weapon against hazard drift is really culture. A culture where every worker feels empowered to speak up, where noticing risk is celebrated, not punished. Because honestly, safety isn't just a set of posters, it's a living system, and like any living system, it either grows or decays. And drift is decay. The longer it goes unaddressed, the more it feels, well, inevitable. Until the day it isn't inevitable anymore, it's catastrophic. Let me ask you something. Right now, in your workplace, what's drifting? What small unsafe condition have you started to accept? What shortcut has become a habit? What risk has faded into the background? You already know where to look, because, well, drift leaves traces. It leaves scuff marks around trip hazards. It leaves paperwork filed months late. It leaves emails unanswered about safety concerns. It leaves fingerprints everywhere, if you know how to see them. And once you see drift, you have a choice. You can ignore it, or you can call it out. You can be the one who says, this isn't normal, this isn't safe, and it's not going to stay this way. Because, fighting hazard drift doesn't take a title. It doesn't take permission. It takes courage. The courage to see what others no longer see. The courage to care when others have gone numb. The courage to act before hazard drift turns into tragedy. And here's the best part. When you take that stand, you won't just protect yourself, you'll wake others up too. Because drift is contagious, but so is vigilance, so is integrity, so is leadership. So, if you found value in this video, if it made you think differently about your workplace, go ahead and drop a comment below. Tell us one area where you think hazard drift might be creeping in. Because when we name it, we can fight it, and when we fight it, we save lives, one choice at a time. If you're ready to keep building smarter, safer workplaces, hit that subscribe button. Because next we're moving into how to build a safety culture that actually works. Not just paperwork, not just rules, but real, living safety leadership. This is Safety Smart HQ, and this is how we lead with our eyes open. See you in the next video.